like to join me by sharing your energy, your thoughts, your feelings, or to pray. Mother, Father God, we thank you for this opportunity to be together, to be mindful of the things that are meant for our best and highest good, to add to our knowledge, and to share our love and our energy with each other. We thank you for this opportunity, and we offer this prayer with all the love in our heart. And so it is.
So it is.
We're good. Are we on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're live. There you go. Okay, so what I thought we'd do tonight is the last angel night, and it's our last night here. Aww. And it's our last night here. Yay! So it's kind of like a mixed bag, right? Okay. So I gave a bunch of you some handouts. I had printed out 10 of them. Anybody that doesn't have them, or you kind of share with somebody next to you, that would be awesome, just so that they can get an idea what it is. And if you don't have a copy, then let me know and just drop your email here for me, and I will send it to you tonight so that you have a copy that you can look at. And for whenever. We've talked about a bunch of stuff. We've talked about heaven, and you had the opportunity to avail yourself of the course about heaven. How many of you did that? How many of you asked for it and actually got it in an email? Yay!
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it?
No.
Okay, did you give me your email?
I think so.
Did I send it to you? I guess not. I'll send it again. Let me write a note. Kathy. So, and I'll make sure you get it. And then we talked about the archangels, and we talked about particular angels and their abilities and how we could use them, and then co-creating with our angels. And so we've had a lot of discussion about a lot of different kinds of things around the idea of the angels. And so today what I wanted to do is just kind of review that and fill in the gaps that we kind of identified during the course of the last month. So one of the things that we kind of mentioned is I had somebody say, well, what stone goes with that angel? If it's a vibrational thing and I'm calling in, well, that's why you have that little cheat sheet now, and it has the color and who the angel is, what their official purpose is in the angelic realm, and then the stone that correlates to them energetically. So if you're looking to work with angels on a vibrational level as an energy, that's a really good sheet to have. And so now you have that all at your fingertips. The other sheet that I gave you is a very clear, crisp understanding from a biblical perspective of what the angels are and what their order is, according to the Christian, Greek, and Hebrew scriptures. So I think that's really important. And to understand this, and I wanted to mention this as well, that they are called messengers, right? So sometimes we call people angels. How many of you said, oh, you're my angel? You're like an angel to me. Yeah. So, and that's why. Because sometimes we are messengers for each other. And so we become a vessel of spirit, and thereby we become angels to each other. We help each other. We're there in times to be a comforter, for compassion, for kindness, to do deeds of kindness and fill in gaps when things happen in our lives where we need some assistance. And that's what the angels do for us in a broad perspective as a group of humanity. But on an individual basis, people are more available to help each other than anybody else is. So that's why we call each other, oh, you're my angel. So that's a really nice thing to say. But you are not actually an angel. You are a human being, which is okay, because we're just a little lower than the angels. So, and I'm sure the angels probably envy some of the things that we can do. They do different things than we do. We do different things than they do. So it's important to know. The other thing that we had touched on as far as the angels was concerned was, it's so great that you're here tonight, Tina, because we had talked about the archon. So Tina had asked a question, what about the archon? So the archon is a Gnostic understanding of the juxtaposition of the angels. So there's the 7 archangels, and then there's the 7 archon. Now, this this correlates to a very basic understanding, and that is as above, so below. So there's a mirror image of all of reality. That's the Gnostic understanding of that. So above, so below. So then, is there a creator? Yes, there's a creator, an earth creator, the Demiurge, which is a very negative, the god of this world. Now, what does he do? He can make us look at things differently than we should. And really, the angels can do that as well. Demons do that. We kind of touched on that with Lucifer when we talked about Lucifer and Satan and the different roles and what those words mean. So it's not as if that can cause you a physical damage, but it changes your perspective, the way you interact with your reality, and that can cause you a lot of suffering and pain. Because when we make bad choices, we have bad outcomes, right? Yeah. So these 7 bad angels, that's what they do. Their job is to kind of go out and cause you to look at the world in a different way than you should. Because how are we supposed to look at the world? In a very positive way, right? In a mindset of victory, right? Because I win. I'm on God's side. I always win. Right? But if you're in a losing mentality, and you're in a negative mentality, and you believe everybody's out to get you, everybody's being mean to you, everything bad is happening to you, and more bad is just around the corner, and there's scary monsters in the closet. No, it's not funny. I mean, in the metaphysical community, let's be honest, this is rampant. So that kind of thinking comes from that lower system. From our own base of fear, and that's what feeds that, okay? So really, if we're looking at that reflection from a mirror kind of way, right, then above is love. Below is fear. So what comes from God is always love, right, from the Creator, Mother, Father, God. And then what comes from the Creator of this universe, this world we live in, this system of things is what it's called, right? The Creator of this system of things. Some calls it the spirit of the world, the wind, the air, the spirit of the air. So it's the kind of negative stuff that we get fed on a regular basis. So what kind of negative stuff do we get fed on a regular basis? Watch the news for half an hour.
And
okay?
then have a repeat for the next 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, don't watch Bay News 9. I'm teasing. I like Bay News 9 to get my weather there. But just, I don't want to say anything bad about anybody.
That's the only time.
But it does run on a loop. It runs on a loop. And to be honest with you, Sylviane, that's exactly what works for this particular kind of thinking. If you buy into this idea that there's evil entities that are out there trying to affect your mind and trying to influence your heart, right, then that's the means by which they use. They're not going to come and be a scary monster. That's too ridiculous. You know exactly what that is. There's no mistaking that. But if it's sneaky, right, quiet, in a way that you don't expect, where every day you look in the mirror and you hate yourself. I hate myself because I'm not blonde and blue-eyed, or my skin is too dark, or my skin is too light, or I'm not the right shape, or I'm not athletic and all my friends are athletic and I watch TV and it says I should do this or I should do that, or I don't have an advanced degree. I mean, we could measure ourselves against a litany, a list so long I can't even imagine it, of things that we're supposed to be and supposed to do and supposed to have, right? And those are the things that influence our mind and influence our heart, the material world. And that's where these particular energies live to affect this material world. Okay? So how do we overcome that? How do we overcome that kind of thinking, that kind of falling into the pattern of feeling bad and feeling, God, you tell me, how do you overcome that?
By trying to fix it.
Trying to fix it, right? And do you have tools to fix it?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
Angels and chakras.
Yeah. And praying and meditation, reflection, yes.
Just pure awakening and becoming awake to the fact that you know that
Sometimes it's just in your own head.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the way that you see the world from your own perspective.
Right.
You know, and I used to be scared. I used to be afraid of demons in the closet. So there was one day where I just decided, I said, God, I don't want to be scared anymore. And I don't expect that you want me ever to be scared of this. If you're the Father of all fathers, you know, you're the All Father, the Most Holy, the Almighty. I said, I don't want to be afraid anymore. How do I stop it? And it's so funny how I didn't hear things anymore. How that little creak in the roof, how
became
suddenly
rain
became,
now.
or acorns hitting the top of the roof, or there's something more to it than what was the way I was feeling that fear.
And there's a world full of people that are affected by those kinds of things and that kind of thinking. And this is why it's so important that we understand when you change the way that you think about things, you change the way you perceive your reality. There are some things you can't change. There's some things you can't change in that, you know, if somebody is sick and they're dying, we can pray over them, we can send them love and light and healing, but if it is within their destiny and within their soul's journey to go through whatever they're going through, then we just pray for their best and highest, right? Sure. Whatever is your best and highest good. I want to happen for you what you will benefit from the most. Sometimes when we're sick and we get better, then we've learned this really valuable lesson, right? Wash your hands when you go to the bathroom. That's always a really good thing, you know? And those little lessons, if we learn from them, we grow. But we have to change our mind. We have to change the way that we look at things. And really, all of the reality that we see and everything that we come in contact with is really all about what's up here. Okay? So, in fact, I was talking to a student of mine, and then I'll finish this up, and that was that we had gone through all these courses, angel courses, looked at stuff online, talked about the scriptures. We just went on and on and on and on, and I can talk about it for hours. And then she said, how do I know that this isn't all just made up by somebody? And I said, you know what? It is. It is. So you won't have to worry about it anymore. You can just put it all out of your head now. Someone made it up. Because it was their perception of what they were feeling, what they were seeing, and how they were inspired to share that information that was laid down on paper and then handed to somebody else. Now, how that becomes fact is because we don't know. So we're like, wow, well, someone wrote a book about it, right? So they must know. But you know what? I wrote a book, and I don't know. And I know a lot of other people that have written books, and they don't know. We just want to share what we think we know. Which isn't so bad. It isn't so bad. But it makes you think about things. But really, you know, the whole point of that is to say, if you don't get it and you can't memorize it, and especially the Gnostic understanding of the cosmos, which is enough to blow your mind if you've not gone into that kind of realm of understanding, then, you know, that's perfectly fine. Stick with what works. And I hate to coin a phrase, and I'm not going to. I'm going to copy someone else's. You know, keep it simple. Yeah. The more simple it is, the easier it is to implement in your life. Right. It doesn't have to be that complicated. It doesn't have to be that complicated. But if you like it to be complicated, we can make it real complicated. We can make it so complicated you'll never even understand it. Because there's a book about everything, and someone has an opinion about every single thing and every thought that's ever crossed your mind, because there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. Everything's been said, everything's been done, and everything has been rebranded and represented for you. So anything that comes out of my mouth shouldn't be new. If it is, that's awesome. Cultivate the mind of the observer. Meditate. Pray. Be kind. Be good. Be generous. Those are all basic, fundamental spiritual concepts. Once you put your feet on a spiritual path, you're going to hear that over and over and over and over again from every religion that I've ever studied, and I've studied quite a few. So, know that these stories are meant to inspire us, to serve us in a powerful way. Hey, come on in.
Hello. Hi. Wow, full house. Welcome.
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 I think there's two back there if you guys want to sit together. There you go. You can move the chairs around a little bit.
That's pretty far behind the action.
Okay. And so, just don't over concern yourself with the details. You know, look for the larger picture. That's what's going to serve you best. So when you're thinking about the angels, you know, think about all the things that they've done, all the miraculous things that have happened. I love hearing stories about people who've been pushed out of the way by, you know, their guardian angel or something that was going to hit them, you know, a car was going to hit them or a piano was going to fall out of a window. It's amazing. The unseen world is unseen. And we see it with our eyes of faith. That's what we see it with, our eyes of faith. And we look forward to the opportunity to be in that space so much closer to Source, so much closer to Creator, back where we came from, our original place. And so it's natural for us to want to figure out how to do that faster, how to do that quicker, the shortcut. There is one. I want to know what it is, but there isn't. Not that I know of yet.
It's who believes the fastest.
It's who believes the fastest.
Who believes fastest.
So I leave that with you. I hope that you've enjoyed this month of angels, and I hope that you find some of the answers there that you're looking for in the handouts as far as the gaps in some of the lessons that we've had. If there's anything that you think of moving forward that you'd like to share or something that you have a question about, please feel free to reach out to me. Yes, Reverend Sylvan?
I was getting ready to just, because I'm going to be doing the meditation, to let you know that when it comes to the angels and the spirit and the spiritual journey that I've been on and learning about them, through what I've gathered in my learning, is that they all have certain principles of behavior.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
like Archangel Raphael, he is the physician angel. So if you're in a situation and you're a healer and you need to heal somebody, there's no reason whatsoever that you say, okay, Mother, Father, God, Raphael, come help me now.
Or send your messenger to help this one.
Help me.
Tell them how they need to change whatever they're doing to be well.
Whichever it is,
Mhm,
however it comes about, because the next words out of your mouth, you know are going to be the right words at the right time, because you are aware of the moment of what it is that you're asking for. And to me, I've had it happen over and over again. That's where the miracle comes in, is when you truly ask for it and you watch it unfold in front of your eyes.
Well, and miracles happen all the time.
Every day,
Yes.
all the time. I
Yes.
believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to close out and do announcements real quick. Our announcements.